When I was young, I really liked science, and whenever I would learn about science stuff, I really thought that what I was learning was actually how the world is. To me, I remember learning about the names of the bones of the body, and to me, what it was like. Um, just this is the name of this bone, as if it was something that had always been like that. When I was young, I didn't really understand the fact that there was a point in time where the the name of a specific bone hadn't been given yet because it hadn't been really observed, or uh, sufficient interactions with it warranted a name for it. I didn't understand this concept. So I always had this impression that the things I was learning had always been like that. As I got older, I understood that science was an evolutionary process, and we've discovered more and more stuff, and new theories came up that replaced older theories, which at some point were relevant. Um, so this kind of evolution, this transition, is something I understood as I got older. Um, and then when I started to think about things like belief in a theory, or belief in these things that you can teach someone, I realized that I needed to understand what it actually means to really believe in something. Um, I heard these people say, I believe in God, and I was wondering, what does it really mean to believe in something? Um, and So this got me to philosophy, where beliefs are something very at the core of what philosophy is. Things like truth and beliefs. And as I dug deeper, my understanding of all these things really drastically changed. And um, I think it's interesting to talk about beliefs based on the definition of Alexander Bain, which is a philosopher. And he said that belief is what a man is ready to act upon. So, so in his definition, beliefs is really tightly linked to actions, which means that what you believe to be true will lead you to do certain things. And this got me thinking about the fact that um, um, whether something is true regarding what you believe about it seems to be less important than your actions that will result from your beliefs. And this resonated with me because if you think about it, if someone says that he believes in something, and this would effectively not change whatever he would do in his life, whether you believe something or whether you believe the opposite of it, if what results from both of these beliefs cannot be measured in terms of actions that result in it, then it doesn't mean anything. I mean, there's no way to tell one belief from another. It's the actions that are tangible that can be measured. And if you think about, let's say, someone who believes A and someone who believes B, it means that inside their brain there is a structure of beliefs, which means that if these structures are different, then the actions should be different. So the actions are really at the core of it. And when I dug deeper into that, I came upon a thought experiment by Charles Sanders Peirce, and he was saying the following. He was saying, what is it to believe that a murder occurred? So if we're asking ourselves if a specific murder it happened, or it didn't happen, is it true that it happened or isn't it true? Was the murder real or not real? He said, we could take different people who have different capabilities of being able to act in the world. So let's take an example of someone who is who doesn't have any senses other than being able to see. So he doesn't hear, he can't touch, he can't taste, he can't smell, but he can see stuff. And he sees someone with a knife doing this. So this is the only information that he has. Now, let's imagine that someone else has only one sense, and it is hearing, and he hears someone yell and scream by fear, and then he hears like the sound of a liquid pouring out of someone, and then the sound of a loud sound, which is like, let's say, a body falling. He hears this kind of all these sounds one in a row. And then there's another person who who cannot sense anything other than touching. He could afterwards go to a body and touch that there's a body, and touch that there's a liquid that is emanating from someone, and that the body is cold and the body is not moving. So all these different people, they have all a very narrow view of something, of an event. And if you ask them individually if they believe that a murder occurred, then from all they know, it seems to fit. But we can realize that it's the accumulation, it's seeing this event from different dimensions of senses, if we want, that they seem to be correlating with each other. And this is how you sort of build up on your beliefs. So if you the more you would have different dimensions of feeling, of senses, which allow you to make sense of a situation, the more these different dimensionality seem to be converging toward a truth, which is that there was indeed a murder. It's true. And your belief about that really occurring gets reinforced. So if you're saying that you believe about that a murder occurred, then it means that should you act upon it, you should see something, you should hear something, you should touch, and this is what you ought to be, this is what you would touch if a murder had really happened. So you can see that our beliefs are really tightly linked to actions. So this brings me to the idea that whatever we believe, asking ourselves if this is really true, it seems to be wrong-headed, in my opinion. What we want to do is, there are some actions that we hopefully would be doing which seem to be right in accordance with the world. And there are many options for actions. And what we're trying to do is, we're trying to formulate a narrative of beliefs, a long stream of beliefs that is sort of cohesive, which when put together will make us act in the world in accordance to what is logical, but also what is good for us. So if I believe that running on the side of a pool when it's slippery might be dangerous, that's my belief, then my actions will result from it. And me staying safe is a proof that my actions seem to fit with the reality of the world and my desire to stay accident free. So so if I believe that, so if I were to believe that there was the god of pools, which is looking at me and wants to punish me every time that I run around the pool, and she's going to magically make me slip and fall and maybe hurt myself. We know that it's not necessarily true, but if that belief leads me to do actions which will prevent me from running and having an accident, then it seems to be a belief that is useful. Now, what is true and what's real is not the god of pools or whatever name I could give it. That's not the part that's real. The part that's real is what the outcome of the actions following from that belief are in accordance to the world that I live in. There is a real world out there that I'm in contact with, and there are some actions that are real in that they are better for me. So this is, I think, where the confusion stems, where some beliefs that we have, even about science, we have theories of quantum mechanics, and is the theory that we have of quantum mechanics about decoherence or things like that true? Not really. We're trying to create stories which will enable us to act in the world so that we can better interact with our world, and in this case it's a very tiny world. So the interpretation or these stories of beliefs that we create for ourselves, it doesn't matter if it's a god, it doesn't matter if it's a theory. What matters is what would result from those beliefs. And when those theories that we create results in beliefs which sort of meets reality in actions that doesn't seem to fit, that's when the theory needs to change. So the focus should be on those things instead of wondering, is this true or is this real? I think the actions are really the important part. So there you go. Thank you.